Good evening, everyone. This is Nawaz Modi Singhania of the Body Up Fitness Centers. Good to see you guys coming in. Hey, Anmol. Hey, Paresh. Hey, everyone. Monu. Sahik, Salman, all you guys. It's an interesting day today. Firstly, we have World Yoga Day. So happy World Yoga Day. Happy Father's Day. And it's also Music Day, World Music Day. So happy World Music Day. And we also have not such a happy day. The eclipse. Got to be a bit careful. And then again, of course, we've got this COVID environment happening, which is precisely why we are even in this conversation, this particular Insta Live. So that's okay, isn't it? Every rose has its thorns. And what's wrong with that? You need the roses to be protected by their thorns. So important to take things in the right way, the right perspective, and to make the most out of every situation, isn't it? It's fab to see all you guys coming in. Many more of you, good evening. Hey, Dylan and Aman and Murtaza and everyone. Okay, so Rahul, hi. Ali Gura, hi. So, okay, let me get into why we're here today and what's really exciting me. Last month, I was judging the Times She Entrepreneurs Award Pan India. Fabulously done by the Times of India, of course, online, all on Zoom. And I met a very interesting participant in the process of that. Her company is Rock and Rosh, and her name is Ritika Arora. What I loved about her is that she caters nutritionally to people who might be much more concerned and worried today about COVID and comorbidities. So she caters to patients with, food-wise, of course, nutrition, patients with cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, fatty liver, etc. And she has a very, very interesting story and journey herself to share, which I'm very pleased to get her on about. So I think without much ado, let us just go live with her. She is from Delhi, and Delhi and Mumbai, of course, at the moment are the worst hit as far as COVID is concerned. So that's the other. I'm from Mumbai, she's from Delhi. Hey, Ritika.
Hi.
Lovely to see you.
Same here. Thank
I,
you for having me.
I was just telling our audience a little bit about you and what's so special about you. And
Oh,
I was also saying that you are from Delhi, me from
yeah.
Mumbai, both being the worst hit at this point in terms of the COVID.
Yeah.
So, considering that and the comorbidities that go with that and all our concerns towards our elderly, especially, you were fabulous and very, very relevant. So, amidst the chaos, let's try and find our way through. Hippocrates very famously said, the father of Indian medicine, well, internationally actually said, let food be thy medicine and let medicine be thy food. And that is so important, right? Back
Yeah.
to the old adage, almost corny, that you really are what you eat. And I love what I read. I think one of your partners said this, that eating right and clean is the simplest and the quickest way to fall in love with your life, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So considering that COVID days put comorbidities under very sharp focus, we want to talk to you about all that you have to offer. And maybe first you can tell us about how you got into this journey yourself, how and when, why you got into this yourself. Do share.
Yes. Hi, guys. So I'm Ritika Arora, founder of Rock and Rosh. And before I start giving you guys all the gyan, just want to share a little case study, like a very short case study. And this case study is about a woman who always ate healthy and exercised regularly, but she was diagnosed with cancer, say about 6.5, 7 years back. And a lot of questions rose in her mind that, why me? What was I doing wrong that it happened to me? And when she looked back and she saw what she was eating, she realized that she was consuming a lot of hidden sugar. She was consuming a very, highly processed diet. There was a lot of Diet Coke happening. And yes, so what she did was she obviously she had to go through a surgery, and post the surgery, she chose not to go for any radiation or chemotherapy, and she just changed the way she was eating. So she, changed her lifestyle, the way she was eating, everything. And when she went back to the doctor for a test, and the doctors were actually surprised, and they said, you know what? You don't need any radiation. And the person I'm talking about is me. It's been
Hello.
6.5 years. It's been 6.5 years, and I've been cancer free. And yes, this is what gave birth to Rock and Rosh. And obviously, once when I started studying about nutrition and food, it just kind of it just blew me away. I was like, there is so much into it, and there is so much lack of knowledge. People are still sticking by what they were and how they were eating, say about 20 years back or maybe more. Now, you have to understand, back then the food was different, There was nothing like a GMO and, highly processed and preservative food. But now we are there. So we have to definitely look at our lifestyle in a different way. And to study further, I went to London to study nutrition. Then I went to Washington, D.C. To train under Dr. Eric Berg. And I mean, I've always looked for knowledge. So I always keep learning. Still, I'm learning. And what simple thing I did was I just, changed, and I ate only 3 meals a day, and I ate till I was happy and, satisfied. I would not binge eat. I reduced the amount of glucose I was taking, and I reduced the amount of carbs I was taking, and that's it. Because I read, I mean, even my doctor told me, he said, the cancer cells, they thrive on glucose. So if you do not have glucose, your cancer cells have no way that they can grow. And that's how the journey started. And Rock and Rosh, obviously, I mean, it was a great, effort from my family, from my kids, my husband, my everyone. So that's why I named the company Rock and Rosh, which is named after my kids, Ronak and Roshni.
That's a fabulous story, Ritika. So much for sharing it. I know it's very personal to you, so thank you all the more. Um, so I wanted to firstly say hello to a whole lot of other people who have a lot to say out there. Deepak, Yogi, Rukshi, Shaz, Nick, Yusuf, hi, good to see you all. Montu, Lakan, Somya, fabulous seeing you guys. So, Ritika, this is really inspiring. Where did this leave you? Firstly, if you don't mind my asking you, which type of cancer were you diagnosed with?
Yes, so I had a lump on my thyroid gland, And so, in my FNACs and my biopsies, it was all that it's benign. But when I actually went under the knife, I mean, when they were doing my surgery, that's when they did a cold section and they found that it was malignant. So that's why they had to remove the whole thyroid gland. So, a lot of people say that, oh, if you have thyroid, you should not eat low carb, you should not eat like this. Well, here I am. I don't have a thyroid gland, and I'm still living and I'm still fit and I'm still losing. I mean, I'm healthy. So I'm not looking at losing weight or gaining weight. I always look to get a healthy body. That's it.
Very important. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
For that. And so this was 6, 7 years ago, and you've been free ever since, right? You've
Yes.
been
Yes.
since. That's such a motivating story. That's fabulous. And see, this brings into sharp focus the fact that these things happen to people of any age. It's not reserved for when you're a whole lot older. It's not going to happen to your elders and your parents and your grandparents. It's going to happen to you. And we all need to be very, very careful and respectful
Yes.
of ourselves, of what we put into ourselves. So thank you for that. In any event, when you started from that journey, you then branched out into many other areas as well. You went into diabetes, you started helping those with diabetes, with high cholesterol, so many cardiac related issues, which again is a big issue today in COVID times. High blood pressure, all related, fatty liver, etc. So, would you tell us a little bit more about that?
So, the most common one is blood pressure. Like, right now, I think it's very common for blood pressure and diabetes, I think are getting two very common lifestyle diseases. Now, let's talk about blood pressure. Whenever anyone has blood pressure, we always tell that person that, listen, you need to go on a very low salt diet. Now, that's something like you're telling a person, listen, you need to breathe only 4 times in 1 minute. Not possible, right? You need to breathe at least 14 to 20 times in a minute. So, I mean, it's not possible for us to kind of give up salt altogether, A. And B, it's like even if you reduce it for a while, you will probably reduce your blood pressure for maybe 2 to 3 points. Whereas I feel everyone's goal should be, listen, let's just get it out of the system. Let's just deal with it, that we want to get away with it from the root. So for that, the problem is not the white crystal, which is the salt. It is another white crystal, which is the sugar. So what happens when you have a lot of sugar or glucose in your body? You start retaining a lot of water. You start retaining a lot of fluid, okay? And all the fluid is in your kidneys, and all that pressure is built up, and that's what gives you blood pressure. So imagine if you do not have that kind of glucose in your body, that means you don't have any inflammation. That means you have lower insulin, you have better cortisol levels, and your kidneys are flushing that water, that fluid away, and you don't have blood pressure anymore. I mean, it is as simple as that. So this was
That's
talking.
wonderful. Remember that one thing is always connected with the other. It doesn't stay self-contained.
Yes.
Yes. So whatever bad tends to spill over into the rest of the organs and systems, whatever's good also tends to spill over into the other organs and systems. In other words, there's so many reasons to do the right things, not just one.
So even
Motivation, right? Yeah.
Yes. And I feel like in today's time, like people just look at, okay, I want to lose weight because I have a wedding to attend, or I want to do this because of this. You need to look at yourself. Your target should be the, listen, I just need to be very healthy. I need a healthy body. And for that, it's not just the diet or just the workout. It is, you need to take it like a holistic approach. So your diet, your food, I would say your sleep, are you meditating, how calm are you? All these things make a difference. It's never just only the food or only the exercise. It is a whole circle.
Absolutely, because one can never separate one's physicality from one's emotional, psychological, spiritual, and other well-being. So yes, this is
Yes.
very, very. A few other people I'm seeing back here, and I just want to acknowledge them quickly. Lots of them actually. Mickey, Rahul, Abe, Sunny, Alia, Abhi, Charmit, Siddharth, Usman, Nick. I saw Leah Shabana, Biz, Ranjit, Nisa, Sanket, Krish, Yogi, Praful, Kavita. So, yes, absolutely. Hi, you guys. Thank you for all of that, Ritika. It's so important and so valuable. How do you actually work? Do you give prescriptions out? Do you do deliveries? Do you actually send the dabbas? Do you do consultations? Do you do follow-ups? Can you give us a bit of a roadmap as to precisely how you work?
Yes, so at Rock and Rosh, we offer a very, very personalized plans. So I do not believe that I mean, it's none, no, none of the diets are like a cookie cutter diets that you can just use it for everyone. Everyone has a different lifestyle, different sleeping patterns, different stress levels, different taste palettes. So first, I personally, like whoever enrolls, I personally speak to them. And I mean, right now, obviously, it's just online. So it's a nice long chat we have with them where I understand everything about them. So whenever anyone tells me that, I have a weight issue, I don't just start off, okay, fine, I'll give you this. I try to get on to the root cause. All right, you have a weight issue. When did the weight start? When did you start gaining weight? Because you have to understand if you're gaining weight, that means there is a problem. I mean, you can't just gain weight like that. There is an issue in your body that you're gaining weight. So instead of just giving you a diet to lose weight, I'd rather fix those issues so you will anyway lose weight. So I like to, we speak to them, we go by, we understand their lifestyle, their taste palette, their history. When was the time when they started actually putting on weight? Was there any stress involved? Maybe a divorce or death in the family, anything it can be. And that's when we come to a mutual consent that, okay, fine, are you good with these things? And then we make them a plan. And I always like to be in touch with my clients at least once a week, so that I exactly know what's happening, and I know their progress. And you also have to understand, Amaz, I mean, anybody who wants to lose weight, it's a very emotional situation for them. And I feel at that time, they need that emotional support also. So I always tell them that, listen, if you have any cravings, or, any somewhere where you are just losing it out, just don't even message me. Pick up the phone and call me up. Because, in the beginning, they need that emotional hand holding, and then they understand. But in the beginning, definitely they need a emotional hand holding. So that's how we go. And we also do provide food. So again, food is something which we kind of give it to them so that they exactly know what they need to make in the house. And I always encourage them that, if you have the means to make stuff in the house, you should do that. Rock and Rosh, in fact, has an ebook, and we have salads, soups, smoothies, starters, main courses, and so it's so easy for people to just look at the recipe, and with whatever they have in the house, they can just have a great fancy, nice dish. And yeah, so that's what we do. And we do provide meal plans also. But for now, we are not doing that because of the COVID and the lockdown. But we are providing food, but not every day.
That's fabulous. That's wonderful. You're right. It is a very emotional journey to lose weight. There are many, many reasons. And this is just what we tend to see on the surface of it, but there's so much more under it. And it's wonderful that you make yourself that accessible then. And people can, yes, just on a weekly and otherwise basis to reach out to you. That's fabulous. Also, that it's very bespoke. You're right. All of us weren't born to look the same or be the same, right? We are very
Yeah.
individual. And it's fabulous that you take that into account. We have so many more people coming in. Ritika, just want to say hello to them. Akshay, Rizvi, Pankaj, Ahmad, Vijay, Harish, Yogi, Nisa. Hi, all you guys, a few doctors. Hi, all you guys. Taking me to my next question. What do you do when it comes to medication? Do you tell your clients to take the medication along with your advice, or how does it go?
Okay, so I'm not a doctor. So that is one thing I do not go that line.
The doctor prescribe medication, then do
Yeah,
you
so
ask them to continue?
oh, oh yes. I'll just give you an example. So I had a patient who was diabetic for 15 years, all right? And we put him on a plan. And so he used to ask me about his diabetic medicine and all. I told him, I said, listen, you need to work very closely to your doctor right now because in, say, about a week, 10 days, you would have a need to reduce your medication, which I can't do because I'm not a doctor. And that's exactly what happened. Exactly after a week, he went to his doctor, and the doctor was like, what are you doing? You know, we had to reduce your medication. And it just went on. And in 4 months, he was, he had reduced his medicine to a great extent. And he was shocked. He was like, it's been 15 years. I've been having so much medication, and now I'm medicine free. And now he started running marathons. So again, I mean,
Fabulous.
we are not just helping them lose weight. We are helping them to get a better body. That's it, a healthy body.
That's fabulous. I liked what you said. That I also like what you. So firstly, it's really good that your result is very quick. One sees
Yeah.
it quite immediately. Very motivated to keep going. So guys, make note of that. Yeah, Renu, hi. And secondly, it's also good to hear what you said earlier about a lot of these ingredients are already there in our kitchen. We just don't know
Yes.
it or know how to use it, right?
Yes.
So, could you tell us a little bit more about just this? I mean, I know that there are a lot of, and even Indian, not just westernized. We have so much to offer. Our land has so much to offer, which is unique to India. So, could you talk about some of those spices and herbs, fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, etc., which are not only great for what you speak of right now, but what's top of mind for everyone, which is what? I need to build my immune system really fast. I need to remain healthy regardless of this horrible situation outside these days. So, could you shed some light on that?
Yes. So to build up your immune system, again, we come back to the same white crystal, we need to cut down sugar. So the moment you do not have sugar, too much sugar in your body, you will not have any inflammation. If you don't have any inflammation, you don't have any gut problem. If your gut is happy, it's healthy, your immune system is healthy. So I think the easiest way to build your immunity is to not eat too many times in a day. So definitely look into intermittent fasting. Now, I mean, fasting has been in our, people fast for religious purposes, everything. So why have we forgotten that? So, fasting is a good way to get your glucose down, which eventually will help you build your immunity. Now, some foods which can help you build your immunity would be turmeric. Everybody has turmeric in the house. So, definitely turmeric, ginger, black pepper, all these spices are good, you know. Then see, once you reduce your sugar intake, your body definitely needs something it can use as energy. So you need to start having healthy fats. So your body will start using the fats for energy. So
Mm,
again, your immunity system, you're building your immunity system. So
mm,
I'm not telling people that, listen, go get vitamin C, get vitamin D3, and just take the pills. Listen, those pills are synthetic. What are they going to do to
mm.
you? They're synthetic. If you can get a natural source, definitely go for it. But then why not right now? The easiest thing to do is do not eat very often. You know, that's the easiest thing to do. It gets your blood sugar levels down. The moment it gets your blood sugar levels down, your inflammation goes down, your gut is happy, your
Mm,
immune system is fantastic.
mm,
And people who fast for long, they experience something called autophagy. Now, autophagy is basically that your body becomes a self-cleaning mechanism. So all the bad cells are eaten by all the good cells. So you are cleaning your body yourself. You're not putting anything in your body, you're just giving it rest. That's all we have to do. And
mm.
I feel during this time, people are like eating, like how, they are eating because they're bored, they're eating because they're emotional, they're just eating.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotional eating, psychological eating, boredom eating, drinking.
Yes.
Oh, God, that's the other one. Let's not get into that right now. Guys, I'm seeing a lot of you in there saying hellos and greetings. And I want to acknowledge each one of you, but I also want to tell you, please chuck in while we've got Ritika here online. Please ask any important, valuable questions. We all have people we're concerned about at home or otherwise in our families, etc. And I'm sure you could ask a valuable question or two for them. So please chuck it in. In the meantime, hi, Harish. Ranveer, Krish, Ardeep, Asif, Deepak, Dipali, Yogi, just people I saw earlier, Vicky, Jamshed, Charmig, Aparna, Sham, Raj, Mayur. There are lots and lots of us out here. We have one question which we'll come to a little later, which is how to reduce stubborn fat, but we'll come to that a little bit later. Um, right now, I want to share something based on what Ritika just said about, what to eat, what not to eat, etc. And, going back to the whites and cutting it out and so on and so forth. Of course, there are very healthy replacements instead, which you should know about, right? So you could use black raisin or khajur or things like that to sweeten things if you have a little bit of a sweet tooth. Question has come, how do you substitute roti and rice? I'm used to answering that, but I'm going to leave it to Ritika today. She's our guest. We'll come to it. But 1 minute, I just want to share with you guys another interesting thing that I put into practice when we broke into COVID was, and I have a large staff force in my own domain to take care of, in excess of 70 people. So, and that is still in full lockdown, nobody in, nobody out. It's just a bit of a Fort Knox here entirely. But what I did was I said, okay, so all these spices which build the immunity, haldi, turmeric,
Mm.
ginger, garlic, lasan, black pepper, even
Cinnamon,
chili, yeah,
cinnamon.
and onions, etc. What I instructed was, you know what? All our food is going to have double the amount of all these spices any which way. That's it. That's what's made. Whether you want to, you don't want to eat it, that's all that's made. So, and actually, it doesn't taste any different, huh? It tastes exactly the same. But you just get that huge boost with every single meal that you eat.
Yes.
I also started taking up specific fruits, specific vegetables which are immune building. For example, spinach, palak, broccoli specifically build the immune system.
Mm.
So I may have only a palak ki sabji, which has all these extra spices and herbs, so your immune system automatically gets a boost. That's part of your meal. Then I don't want to hear from people and then nakra and then natak. No time for drama. मैं नहीं खाता हूँ, मुझे ये पसंद नहीं है. Sorry, this is what's there to eat. You can eat it or you can go to sleep hungry. So it actually works really well. A helpful
Yeah.
tip for people out there. I think these days there's so much real stuff happening. I mean, there's so much sadness, there's so many deaths, there's so many people to run out there and rescue, there's so many people doing such stupid things. There's loss of mind and basic common sense with all this pressure. There are all sorts of pressures operating, job loss, suddenly you just go bankrupt overnight, so on and so forth. That at least I try and cut out all the drama from my life. Don't create unnecessary problems. We have enough of our own problems, and the enemy is not in here, the enemy is out there. Okay? This is what's made. It's on your plate. You want to eat it, eat it. Don't want to eat it, good night. See you tomorrow. So, just something I wanted to share. Now, could you, Ritika, take up the questions that were asked earlier? How do I replace roti and rice? And the second question was, what do I do about very stubborn fat?
So, to replace your roti and rice, remember one thing. Whether you're eating white rice, red rice, black rice, brown rice, it is going to break down in your body as sugar. Your body does not know that, listen, dude, it's black rice, utilize it in a different manner. No, it breaks it down as sugar. Again, whether you're having roti made of multi-grain atta or normal atta or maida or quinoa or any type of grain, again, it breaks down in your body as sugar, period. So if you are looking at, cutting down your sugar, then definitely you cannot have regular rice. But what you can have is cauli rice. It's the most easiest thing to make. You just grate the cauliflower or you grate your broccoli and you steam it a little, squeeze the extra water out, and that's your cauli rice. Spice it up the way you want, make it the Chinese style, make it the South Indian style, make it the Thai style, any style you want. That's your base. Now, for rotis, everybody has almonds in the house. You grind some almonds, you have the almond flour, you mix it with a couple of different flours like flaxseed flour, chia seed flour, mix it together and make your roti with that. Again, spice it up if you want to, but it's easy. It's all doable. You just have to put your mind into it. Nawaz, my kids have two, 16 and 12, and they both do not eat a lot of, they do not eat any amount of sugar, no sugar. I mean, they would probably go for a dessert once in 10 days, but that doesn't mean they don't eat desserts. So we make a dessert every single day in the house, but it's got no sugar. It's diabetic friendly, the kind of desserts we make. It's, good for your body. And, it's guilt free basically.
Yeah.
So you get to eat it and you get to enjoy it and you're happy with it. So that's answering the first question. The second, before I answer the second question, you said something about emotions, right? You said there's so much happening and everything. So, why do we sometimes feel extremely happy and then sometimes we feel extremely sad? Because again, when we eat something sugary, our insulin level goes up. So we have that sugar rush, we are happy. The moment it drops, because as fast as it goes up, it will come down as fast as, it would come down like that. And the moment it comes down, that's when you start getting emotional, you start getting irritated. So that's another thing what sugar does to your body. Stubborn fat. Stubborn fat, I would say it's more of an emotional thing. It's stuck to you because you want it to be there, or you're not happy with yourself. So I feel if you are looking at yourself every day in the morning or any time of the day and saying, oh God, I'm so fat. Oh God, I have this belly. Oh God, you're so negative about your body. It's all going to sit there. Your body releases those hormones, and it just so whenever we release these stress hormones, the body feels it's going to die. So the body starts putting all the fat where all your organs are, which is your belly. So
Hmm.
I feel the first step to lose weight or stubborn fat is be positive. That's it. Start
Absolutely.
meditating. Calm yourself down. Your body really, really needs to calm down. And that's when you will start. Obviously, then you have to do an exercise regime. You have to have a diet regime, a lifestyle change. So I would never say do something for a month or two. I would say do it, make it a lifestyle change. So whatever you do, it needs to be a lifestyle change.
Absolutely. For decades, I've been asked this question about stubborn fat quite naturally with what I do and how do I lose it. And I quite funnily, you know how it is, Ritika, that sometimes we answer press differently when we're in a different mood, right? The same question will elicit many different answers from me depending on which mood you catch me in. So I remember once I was quite amazed with what came out of my own mouth, but it happened, and I want to share it with you and our viewers that I was asked, Madam, how do you stay so slim through all these years? You've never put on weight, and you have children, and you still look like a teenager, and blah, blah, blah. And I turned around and said, the trick to being slim and always being slim, not just getting there, because you'll get there. That's not the issue,
Hmm.
staying there, right?
Yeah.
So I turned around and said, the trick to it is um, make sure that you have lots and lots of mirror in your bathroom.
I love that.
Yourself, you can't miss the writing on the wall. And you
Hmm.
can't miss however you feel about yourself. If you're feeling really good with what you see, you can't miss that. If you're feeling really awful about what you see, you can't miss that either. You will not ignore it, and you will do something about it this way or that. So, but I have so much else to say about this that I won't right now. Want to say hello to some people coming in. Mono, Ricky, Ria, I spotted you there somewhere. Yogi again. Suchi, Madhav, Bipin, Ritesh, Shweta, Mukesh, Durgesh, Ishan. Hi all. Okay, so just one quick, actually two quick questions. Any other lifestyle change that you suggest aside from what you've said?
I think if our viewers can just do two simple things. One is intermittent fasting as a lifestyle, not as something that you're forcing yourself to do. Intermittent fasting, and definitely, giving up sugar to a great extent. That would really make a difference to start with. And
Hmm.
that has to be done as a total, lifestyle. So, a lot of people, when I talk about intermittent fasting, they feel that, oh my God, that means we have to starve. No, starvation is different, and intermittent fasting is basically absolutely different. You have the food with you, but you're choosing not to eat it at a certain time, but you are going to eat it after a certain time. So you have to tell your brain that it's absolutely fine. So,
Somebody
Nawaz, let me share this with
now,
you.
someone just
I
commented when you were speaking that I feel very hungry with intermittent fasting. What did
So,
I
I started intermittent fasting with obviously only 13 hours because that's what you begin with because you're sleeping and then when you wake up. And now I have trained my body to fast for at least 65 to 72 hours once a month.
Hmm.
And it's amazing. there are a lot of advantages to this, but again, you can't just jump into that kind of fasting. You train your
Hmm.
body and you very gradually get there.
Hmm.
But
Some
even if someone's doing 15 hours or 18 hours, they will reap the benefits for sure.
So just go bit by bit, gradually, and then
Yes.
already said you're not telling yourself you're not going to have it. You're just going to say, "I'm having it in a bit. I'm having it a bit later."
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
How do I make sure I have good skin during losing weight? Good
Good
skin during
one.
weight is just doing everything Ritika says. Be balanced about it. Eat the right stuff. Exercise. She didn't say that. I'm saying that. Like lots of water, lots of sleep. Yeah, it all really helps. Cardiovascular activity gets the blood flowing. And with the blood flowing all over, the increased circulation, you are not going to have, those scars, pimples, blackheads, etc., very, very rosy, clean sort of skin. So, yes, that's how we do it. And Ritika, lastly, please tell us, give us something to take away more than what you have. You've given us ample, but yet maybe a simple recipe that I can take away that would help me overall with any and all of these things, because we're concerned about prevention as well, and even the immunity factor. Something simple we can make for ourselves and our
So, yeah, so because it's Father's Day today, and because we are all under lockdown, let's let me share a very simple and easy mug cake recipe, okay? Which even if you mug cake, and if
kids.
you are eating it, you can have it guilt-free. You can have it every single day, but obviously you have to see what you're eating before and after and all that stuff. But it's a very easy recipe. So 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of butter, can be salted, unsalted, doesn't matter. 2 tablespoons of almond flour. Again, take some almonds and just grind them. You have your almond flour. 2 tablespoons of cocoa. 2 tablespoons of sugar free. So I would say stevia. Definitely don't go for anything else, but go for stevia, which is non-GMO. Little bit of vanilla extract, like a dash of vanilla extract, and half a teaspoon of baking powder. You just mix everything and you just put it in the microwave. Start off with 60 seconds and you can go up till 90 seconds and you have a cake ready for you. And you can top it up with some chocolate if you want, obviously a 70% or 80% dark chocolate. And that's it. You have an amazing dessert. So,
So what about that? Sounds lovely, and that sounds very easy and quick. Is Could there be a better butter substitute?
uh, you know, a better butter substitute. So, I feel if you are not eating a lot of carbs, then your body has to have a lot of fat, but it has to have a lot of good fat. So,
Hmm.
here, if you are having one dessert which has 2 tablespoons of fat, and plus you cannot finish the whole thing, you will not be able to because it's heavy. So, you will have half of it. So, you're not consuming so much.
Hmm.
And just coming back, there was a question about skin which you answered. So, Nawaz, you would agree with me. Anybody who goes on a calorie deficient diet, their skin will definitely sag and there won't be any glow on the skin.
Hmm.
But if you go on a high fat diet but a low carb diet, that's when you will see the glow on your face because our hormones are made of fat. We
Right.
need fat.
Yeah. So when Ritika talks about the good fat and the right fat, she means fat in terms of what you get from nuts, seeds, also what you get from
Avocados,
avocado, salmon, mackerel, tuna, the omegas, basically, the threes, the six.
yes,
Fabulous for you. Get more of that in.
yes,
Hmm.
yes, definitely. Desi ghee
Yeah.
is good.
Desi ghee. Yes. Yeah, that was amazing. Thank you. It was a lot of takeaway from us all, for us all. And I'm sure we're going to take that home into our kitchens, into into the people we love and care about and are concerned for. So thank you for all of that. Guys, stay safe, stay indoors. Lockdown being opened up is not a good thing necessarily because the COVID has not gone anywhere. It is only getting worse. So it gives us a false sense of security and safety. Let's all be smarter for it. I know that we all have our own pressures to be out there, whether it's practical, it's economic, it's all sorts of things, and there's no taking away from all of that. But this is the time when we need to use our mental faculty more than ever before. Hi, Niyati. And we should be careful not to lose it at the point we need it the most, right? Because one does a lot of that happen because of the undue prolonged stress. And this is going to be a new way of living for some time, it seems. Let's create our own worlds happily and get on with it. So thank you all. See you next time. And thank you, Ritika. Stay
Thank you, Nawaz. Thank you.
best. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.